Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here on USB Unaffiliated Sports Broadcast. Hey, sorry about that. I had some technical difficulties. Um, yeah, wasn't expecting that. I do apologize. Hey, so thank you for being with me here on USB. Again, this is Unaffiliated Sports Broadcast, where we cover Chihuahua County High School sports. And this is going to be our game day podcast for the football games we have tomorrow. Okay, but we're doing it a little bit early today because I have a guest with me today who I'm super excited to talk to. He's been through quite a bit in his young life already, and he's had to bounce through some things and have some resilience about him. So I'm super excited to get the chance to talk with him and hear more about his story, and hopefully it's something that he can shed over to somebody else for them to be able to um, kind of benefit from, right? So we're going to talk with him. His name's Carter HUdson. He is a wide receiver. I think he plays DB, if I understand correctly, as well, for Stansbury High School. So we'll talk to him, and then we'll also get into the game day stuff. But I don't want to leave the young man hanging on the line any longer than I already have. So with that, join me in welcoming our guest this evening, I guess. I'm sorry, Carter HUdson. How you doing, young man?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh man, I'll be much better if this goes smoothly. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we'll get it rolling.
So, well, first things first, young man. How are you, and have you eaten anything? Because I know you're joining us after your JV game.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just got back from the JV game, so I'm trying to rest up, get ready for the varsity game tomorrow. But yeah, I've eaten my dinner already, trying to get all that nutrients in, trying to recover as fast as possible for that game tomorrow. So.
Sure, makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. So how did that game go? I was torn between going to your guys's or my nephew's over in Deseret Peak, so I obviously chose the latter. But how did you guys end up doing?
Um, we didn't do too well. We have a couple mistakes to fix up, but we're focused on next week. It's in the past already. We're moving past it. We're gonna watch up on film hopefully and fix up all those mistakes. I know I have a lot to learn as well. Fix up those mistakes, get ready for next week, and hopefully catch a W.
Right on, right on. So, do you primarily play receiver or defensive back?
Primarily receiver and play backup safety.
Okay, okay. Which one? I mean, obviously, you primarily play receiver, but which one do you really enjoy the most? Would you say?
I love catching the ball. I've always loved the offensive side, catching touchdowns. Um, Getting that adrenaline rush has always been a big thing for me.
Right on, man. Well, so tell us something about yourself that we wouldn't know from a stat line.
You wouldn't know from a stat line would be I have an insane amount of adversity. I've gone through a lot. Um, as you said at the start of this, and just being able to keep my head in a space that most teenagers can't. I think that's a huge thing for me, that I've been able to have that quality for a long time since middle school, I'd say. And yeah, just keeping adversity, keeping that mental state high, pushing through all that bad stuff, and trying to get the best out of everything.
So what do you mean by keep your mind in that space? What do you mean by that?
Like, sometimes you get knocked down and you stand back up and you get knocked down 10 times harder. You can go through lots of things, mentally, spiritually, physically. It doesn't really matter. Anything you go through, you can get right back up, but sometimes you just fall right back down, and sometimes you fall harder than you did the first time. And being able to keep your mindset, on that goal, on that path that you're on, and trying to keep your head clear, and not be so negative all the time. It gets to a lot of young athletes, I think, and I think that separates me from people my age. I'm able to keep a clear mind throughout the week, throughout the hard practices, the hard conditionings. So
Well, we're gonna come back to that after we start talking about your story a little bit, because I'm super curious to know, uh, what it is that you do specifically towards that. But we'll come back to that. Okay. So, when we were looking to line up interviews, somebody had reached out to me and kind of give me a little bit of a brief story of some of the things that you've gone through. You've been playing football for a while now, and you had some success when you were younger, prior to high school. But then I understand, you met some of that adversity, and it kind of set you back. You know, Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that. How did that all transpire?
So my last year Little League before coming into high school was um it was rough. I ended up tearing my left quad. Went through a bunch of physical therapy for that, and freshman year I retore it again. So came back a little bit too early and ended up re-injuring myself. Was out for a little bit through summer training and then the first couple weeks of my freshman season. Um, not having that chance to prove myself in those summer workouts and those first early weeks of the season, it hindered me a bit. But I
Sure.
pushed through and got my freshman starting spot that year. And I played that year through a bunch of stomach pain that we didn't know what was coming from. Um, Progressively, it got worse and worse, and with physical activity, it didn't really help. And in the off season with staying so active, it still affected me even when not in season for football.
So you
Um,
you played through all this while you were going through that stomach pain?
yeah, freshman year I played through it. Just kind of sucked it up, but like I said before, it progressively got worse, and it got super bad my sophomore year.
So
So,
what did you guys end up finding out about that?
found out that my appendix needed to be taken out. I went through a bunch of MRIs, CAT scans. I even ended up having to get a colonoscopy to get everything checked out. I had multiple MRIs, multiple CAT scans. Everything was coming back normal. But eventually, me and my parents kind of put our foot in the ground and went to the ER one night when it was excruciating. Like I was in excruciating pain from practice one night. So we went to the ER and said, no, just do an like explore during surgery. And they found out that my appendix was enlarged and it was pressing down on some like inflamed lymph nodes.
Oh wow.
So they ended up removing my appendix. So that was fun. Surgery was great though. It was a huge success. I no longer have that pain anymore. So I'm very blessed to be able to get rid of that and keep moving forward.
So if you had to put a timestamp on it, how long would you say that you were kind of dealing with that?
Um, my stomach pain, I'd say it was probably around 2 to 2.5 years.
Oh wow, that's insane. So you guys you obviously went to the doctor probably several times, and you said that they weren't able to find anything. Did you ever like start to doubt it maybe and think that maybe it was like in your head or something like that?
Multiple times actually. I was always wondering if I was just kind of being a wimp about it, maybe having a little stomach ache and obviously there's like a bunch of sports psychology where like mentally like a mental thing can create a physical pain. So
Sure, yeah.
um there was always a thought of that. But we just kept persisting that something was wrong. And my mom always says that she had that mother's instinct, which I always laugh at. I think it's hilarious. But
Hey,
um,
I get why you laugh, but I'm pretty sure it's probably slightly real. I'm not gonna say fully real. It's probably exaggerated a few, a little bit, but it's probably definitely real to some extent.
no, she was spot on. So it was awesome.
So
But
I don't know if you want to share, but I heard that you cracked a little bit of a joke when they were kind of checking some things out.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know like how appropriate it is for me to say. It's not like too bad, but
I
I said
I think you're
that
okay.
okay, awesome. I would say that my parents paid the doctors to violate me for my colonoscopy. So that's just kind of a joke that I would tell my friends and everything. Um and also like as a little kid, like it can get a little bit embarrassing, but at the same time it was all for my health and my health
Sure.
takes priority.
No, sure,
So
of course. It's a good thing that you can make jokes about it, man, because like yeah, I'm sure in the moment it was pretty wild for sure, but looking back on it, it's a good thing that you can make jokes about it, man. That's crazy. Okay, so they removed your appendix, and then what?
I had to recover from surgery. Um my sophomore year I got in about it was either second to last week of the season or the last week of the season. Um, and my pain was gone. I was able to go do off-season training um, over this year, and my pain's gone. I haven't experienced it since. So it was my appendix. At least that's what we believe. Um, and pain's gone. I'm back. I'm ready. I have like all the motivation in the world to go out and show up for my team. Um, a year was taken away from me, so I'm ready to get back there.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna ask. So you ended up pretty much missing your entire sophomore year, then? Is that right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right. So you get back into it this year. How was training? Was it did it take you a while to bounce back, or how did that go for you?
It did, especially in the mental aspect, having to watch so much of my strength not be there anymore and having to build that back up to um a number that I had already accomplished in the weight room, such as like a bench number or a squat number or something like that.
You know.
Having to re-get that PR all over again. It was definitely a mental wall that I had to break through. Um, but we got through it, and my parents were there supporting me every step of the way, getting me in training, um, doing speed training, having me do training with a former NFL running back. His name's Jamal Willis. So he had me do some training with him, and he was great. And we also went to a training center named Tosh. They do speed and agility training there. Um, they helped me out there a ton. I'm gonna go back again this next upcoming off season for sure. They helped out a bunch, and also just getting my personal workouts on. So I'm ready for it all, and I'm excited to get it going. And the mental wall was very huge for me when I first started, but my strength came back a little bit faster than I thought, so it wasn't as bad as I made it out to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a big event to kind of overcome. So like, it definitely makes sense that maybe you had made it a little bit worse, maybe in your own mind a little bit. Like that makes complete sense, dude. But it sounds like you took the recovery process and the initiative to bounce back. It sounds like you took that extremely serious.
Oh yeah, it's been a huge thing for me to get back on the field. So I've always kind of, whenever I'm injured, I try to do as much as I can to get back there. I love football. I breed it. It's all I want to do every second of the day. I love it so much. Um, so when that gets taken away from me, it's only natural to want to get back there as fast as possible.
Yeah, of course. No, that makes complete sense. So okay, so you get back on the field this year. How has that gone for you so far? Are you seeing success? Are you maybe finding some things that you still needed to kind of bounce back from that maybe you didn't think about, or how's that all going for you?
So far it's going pretty great. I suffered ankle sprain just last week, so I'm bouncing back from that this week. Um, the guys in practice are always pushing me hard. They're amazing. I love it. I love going against them. Um, they have skills that I think other teams don't, that make me go harder in practice and make my skills be pushed to their limits, which makes me a better player in return. So season so far, it's been a success. We're 4-1. We don't plan on losing again, so we're ready to go. We have all the energy, so we're
Well,
ready to get back out there and keep winning.
we'll save that for some of our further questions down the line because we definitely will get into that. I wanted to know more about your backstory because, like I said, I kind of got a rough draft version of it, and yeah, man, I mean it's quite the setback, and it's very admirable the way that you've handled it from the sounds of it, at least. Um, it sounds like you've done a really good job. Your parents sound like they were extremely supportive. Your team sounds like they were supportive. Um, so definitely interesting. But I do want to get back to that mental space thing that you were talking about. Obviously, with something like that, you're going to probably have a roller coaster of emotions, right? You're going to have your days where you're like, oh, I'm 100%, and then you're going to get back. You're going to go out there and you're going to realize you're really not, and that's going to kind of bring you down. That kind of stuff. How did you navigate that? Was there something specific that you did, or maybe you just like learned some stuff? Like tell us about that a little bit.
So with getting back out on the field and kind of knowing when I was ready, a big thing for me was just going out and trying. I wasn't scared of failure, and I never have been, frankly. I'm always eager to jump in and try something new. Um, and through failure with freshman year and getting so many failed test results, I've learned how to deal with that. So going out and just simply trying was enough for me to know, like, hey, can I be on the field yet? And if I went out on the field and I didn't feel good and my stomach pain was there still, then I would let my coach know. My coach would give me the okay to go back to the sideline, and I'd go sit on that sideline and I'd cheer my team on with everything I had.
Right on, man. Okay, well, so now that you look ahead, I mean, you're back on the field. You said you suffered an ankle sprain, but you're bouncing back from that. Now that you look ahead, what are your goals as you fight your way back into a spot within your program?
Oh yeah, a big goal I have is obviously that team goal of winning that championship, right? That state championship's always a big thing, but that's kind of the final destination. Um, a personal goal for me would be just to take it 1 week at a time, allow everything to fall into place. Work as much as you can, like get in the gym, like your legs feel sore, oh well, like you have work to get done. So it's kind of just keeping that mentality straight for me and making sure that I am taking matters into my own hands and not wanting everything just simply given. Um,
That's a
I
heck of a
think that's a
mindset.
huge thing for me.
Yeah, that's a heck of a
So,
mindset, dude. What was there a player or a coach that you kind of gained inspiration from during that time? And if so, like, what was it they did that kind of helped you?
um, I'm sure you get this a lot, but Kobe Bryant, I even got his book and I read his book and I read a bunch of stuff that he did. And there was just a lot of amazing stories from him in that book and from others that talked about him. I think his mentality was awesome. And I kind of felt myself kind of leaning towards that work ethic. Like, I want everything. Like, I don't want to settle for something less, knowing I could have done more. And I think I got that from reading his book.
There,
So
there's
Kobe
definitely
Bryant is
worse
definitely for
people.
sure answer.
Yeah, there's definitely worse people to gain inspiration from, man. That's pretty cool. I'm a huge Kobe fan. Of course, like I was young enough when he started out that it made sense, but yeah, definitely worse people to gain inspiration from. Who would you say has been your biggest influence during your playing time in terms of football? Who have you drawn the most influence from?
The most influence from, I would say it would be Lincoln Reitzel. Um, he's always out there. He's putting in extra work. He's in the gym constantly, and I think that his work ethic is absolutely amazing. Kind of watching him on the field, um, seeing how he takes steps, learning from him just from watching. Um, it's definitely a huge thing for me to watch people and watch how they do certain things and then implement it with my own. Um,
Yeah, I mean
because taking
that's
skills.
pretty good. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
No, you're good. Taking skills from others and making them your own is a good attribute, I think. And I think that the top of the world athletes do that themselves. So,
Okay. Yeah, no, definitely. So if you could, we're hearing some echo. Are you just using the phone, or are you using like
nope, I'm using my phone right now.
okay. Well, it might be something. Like I said, I've had some serious technical issues. Um, so I do hope that it's corrected. The chat's telling us that it's better. Okay, so definitely. I mean, Lincoln's had a great season thus far. So I can definitely see why that's somebody who has helped you out there. I mean, yeah, if I think your peers around you, are just as good to draw from as anybody else because you guys spend a lot of time together. So definitely good to hear that. What is it you hope? What is it you hope to gain from your football experiences?
Um, I hope that I can become a better person from it. I'm a big family guy, and I want to have one of my own eventually one day. So, being able to control those emotions, those moments where emotions can get high. Um, you're on the sideline, something crazy happens, and everybody's heads are hanging, but you're picking everybody's heads up and you're pulling them up, and you're, bringing those energy levels back. Um, I think with football, it teaches great characteristics. And if you can acquire those characteristics that the sport teaches, you'll be a better man than you were before you started playing. Um, and that's what I want to gain from it. I want to become a better human being. I love giving back, and so being a better human is a huge factor for me and helping people around me. So that's what I would say.
Well, and that makes a lot of sense because if I understand correctly, you're embarking on an endeavor to kind of help out the community around you right now. Um, Tell us a little bit about that and how people listening might be able to help out.
Um, I just feel super strongly about like homeless kids, and that there's kids out there that don't have the luxury of sleeping on a nice comfy bed at night. Some of them have to sleep on the hard ground, and that doesn't really sit right with me. So I decided to make a campaign for people donating, and it's not straight money donations. It's actually there's a link on my X account. It's only I recently reposted it so more people would see it, um, and it will take you to Amazon, an Amazon cart, and you can buy like blankets, like toothbrushes, coats for the winter. Doesn't really matter, and it'll get shipped directly to my house, and we'll put care packages together, and we'll go and give them to the homeless. Um, it's never really sat right with me that just because some people were given a harder hand at life, that they have to suffer more than someone that had it a bit easier. So I wanted to give back to my community a little and give whatever I could. So I decided to start that up and hopefully get something from it and give back to my community.
Yeah, no, that's definitely one of the great conundrums of life, right? Everybody everybody's born into something a little bit different. Sometimes there's similarities, but not everybody draws the same straw. So that's very admirable, man. And for the people listening, if you want to find that link, his X account should be at Carter_Hudson 19. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And if you're interested, check it out and help this young man achieve his goals here, because that's a very admirable thing, man. It really is.
I
Not
appreciate that.
I don't think a lot of young people think about that aspect of it at this point in your stage, and that's not a knock at anybody, right? I mean, you guys are just kind of living your lives and things like that, and that's usually something you kind of come across when you get a little bit older. So um, for you to already kind of have that mindset, that's pretty impressive, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get into some football now. All right. Since I've got you on here, and this is our game day episode, um, what was what what has the week of practice given you that makes you feel confident your team's going to pull out a win this Friday?
Oh yeah, our energy levels have been through the roof. Everybody's pushing each other around. Um, jumping for joy for conditioning, which has never been seen this year yet. So we're super pumped.
So
Um,
they're excited to run, is what you're telling me?
yeah, like at the end of conditioning, end of practice, we'll do conditioning, and we're like hooping and hollering, like give us more. So we have the mindset, we have the energy, um, and we want it bad. I know all of us do, and I can speak for my team when I say this. We want to win, um, and I think that we will. Uh, with this with this week at practice, we've had insane amounts of energy, um, pulling each other up, making each other better, um, pushing each other around, making us do the work that needs to be done, and that prepared us this week for Friday night. So we'll be ready.
Okay. Okay. So you guys are taking on Mountain Crest. They're 3-2 on the season so far. It looks like they beat East, Uinta, and Logan. Put up quite a few points in those ones. 38 against East, 62 against Uinta, and 49 against Logan. And then they looks like they lost to Ridgeline and Skyview. Ridgeline put up that one was 34-10, and then Skyview was 12-7. So looks like they might have a pretty decent defense. Not a lot of points scored against them outside of that Ridgeline game. Um, what have you seen from your guys' offense that that makes you think you guys might be able to exploit some of Mountain Crest and their defense a little bit?
Oh yeah, I think that our receivers are top of the line. Um, you have Lael Rhodes, you have Boston Riley, Brighton Reitzel as the quarterback, and Lincoln Reitzel. Um, those receivers and that quarterback, they lead the offense. They're amazing. And you have Carter Peterson in the backfield, and he's an aggressive runner. He's amazing. He creates plays that shouldn't be created. So I think that we have a lot of key players in our offense. We have a lot of extraordinary talent, and talent doesn't matter if your team doesn't have chemistry, but we got loads of it. I know that Brighton, Lincoln, and Boston are like three peas in a pod. They're always out there working. They're getting extra work in, throwing routes, lifting weights. They're always doing extra. So um, praise to those three. They're they're extraordinary, and I believe in them.
Yeah, no, you guys definitely have a very good receiving trio, for sure. And Carter does some out of the backfield there. It looks like he's got 4 for 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Looks like Noah Cephas, he's getting some receptions there. 6 receptions for 65 yards. But on top of that, you guys got an outstanding defense. It looks like I haven't been able to
Oh
catch
yeah.
any of the games. I've watched a little bit of them back on the replays and stuff like that. But I mean, you got Bronx Baker with 42 total tackles. You got Cole Tincher leading the charge with 8 tackles for loss. You got he's also leading the team in sacks there. You guys have 10 sacks on the season. You got Baker with a sack, Cephas with a sack, Simmons, Hinton, and Joyce. So you guys are really creating a lot of pressure, it looks like, in that backfield. What have you seen from the defense that makes you think that they're going to be able to contain Mountain Crest?
Oh yeah. Like I said, or sorry, like you said, we keep pressuring that backfield. Um, Noah Cephas is awesome at getting pressure, and Cole Tincher as well. I believe in both of them with all my heart. I think that our D line is absolutely fantastic. They're always putting pressure, giving it everything we got every single play. And our secondary is outstanding. You have Colton Danes and Carter Cashmore back there at safeties. You have Lincoln Reitzel at cornerback, and Ladarius Rhodes at other cornerback. So
Yeah,
all amazing athletes.
Danes leads you guys with 3 interceptions, so he's definitely doing his thing. And then Carter Cashmore, he's got one as well. So yeah, no, that's at least according to Max Preps. So no, right on, man. And so it's Noah Cephas.
Yes, Noah
Okay,
Cephas.
so I've been saying that wrong. You guys in your names, man. Like I thought for the longest time Brighton was Rutzel, until I did the interview with him, and he's like,
Yep.
no, no, it's Reitzel, and I was like, well, show me where the I or the Y's at, man, because I'm confused. But
Yeah.
no,
It's
that's awesome.
crazy.
So I mean, you guys are 4-1, 1-1 in region. What was it about that loss that kind of sparked something in you guys? You guys went over there to Green Canyon and you guys played a heck of a game. It wasn't like it was a bad game at all. 15-7, but it was obviously, or arguably, I should say, probably the worst offensive performance that your team has kind of had this year. Um, what did you guys take from that kind of sparked something new in you guys?
We got to increase the energy levels. Going into that game, our energy levels weren't too high, and came back and bit us, unfortunately. But we learned from our mistakes, and in practice, the next following week, we made sure our energy levels were high consistently through the week, pushing each other's limits, trying to make each other better. So, um, taking that L and learning from it is definitely the biggest thing. Um, don't sit around and mope about it. Um, Watch film, get better, and realize mistakes. Be a teammate, be a team player at practice, and it just lit a fire under us. We're ready to win. We're hungry for it, and
Right on.
yeah, that's it.
So you guys will take on Mountain Crest tomorrow, and then the next week you guys got an intercounty rivalry game against Chihuahua. How do you feel about those intercounty matchup games? Is that something you enjoy? What's the environment like for from your perspective?
Oh yeah, they're always fun. Those rivalry games, being so close to each other and having that rivalry is it's exciting. Brings more to the table than just win or lose. Um, so you wanna kind of kill your rival. You want to crush them. You want to just win, like blow them out. So it brings that excitement, um, and proving everyone that you're the best in that area is definitely a thing that you want to be able to say.
Sure.
So
No, absolutely.
brings
Yeah, no, I say it all the time, man. Obviously somebody's got to win, but we hope that both teams in those games I don't know. There's just something about them, man. I think people play their best, honestly. I went to the Tooele Deseret Peak game, and I felt like both those teams played their heart out, man. Um, there's just something about those matchups. It's really exciting. But we don't want to get too far in the future because you do have a game tomorrow, and that is against Mountain Crest. Now, I was looking up stats, but Mountain Crest doesn't post anything. Without spending a lot of time trying to play some of their games back, I don't really have any thoughts on what they might do. But who's a player in your opinion that coming into this game tomorrow that we should keep an eye on? Who do you think is going to do something big for your team tomorrow?
Big for our team tomorrow would be I'd say Brighton Reitzel and Ryder Meyer.
Ryder Meyer, that's the sophomore, right?
Yep, he's filling in this week at the slot, and I'm expecting things from him. Last week he got a touchdown, so I'm super pumped for him. But I think he'll get another one this week.
So hold on a second. I gotta ask this question because I'm jogging my brain here right now. I'm pretty sure I might be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure I had him as my player to watch last week, and I had no
Oh, did you?
idea. I had no idea he was filling in. I just I saw some of the stats had increased for him, and I was trying to give him a shout out. So that's pretty. So he's filling in, and he started that last week.
Yeah, he started last week, got a touchdown last week. I think he'll get another one this week. I think he'll put some yards up for us.
Dang,
Um,
look at that. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty
yeah.
awesome. Okay. Yeah, no, we'll definitely keep an eye out for that, man, and good luck to that young man for sure. So with the new staff that you guys have there in Stansbury, right, and some of the changing personnel, what was something or what is something that you've learned this year that has helped you grow? Something that you didn't know before that maybe this staff kind of taught you that's helped you grow as a player.
Um, yeah. Just I think a big thing is a lot of players will discard like the scout team during practice, and when they're actually like one of the biggest parts, you're giving that starting defense or starting offense that look, and you have to give everything you got so they can be prepared for Friday night. Um, so it doesn't really matter what you're doing in practice. You're running everywhere, you're jogging everywhere, you're not walking. Really just kind of teaching that mindset of, hey, give it everything you got, every single rep. Even if you're just on scout team, you're giving these starters their look, and you need to give them a good one for them to be ready for the game. So they've just taught a lot of let's keep energy levels up, let's give it everything we got, um, and that scout team needs to be there, and they need to show up at practice, and they need to put in some work. I think that's my biggest takeaway this year so far. I'm sure I'll learn a bunch more. They're amazing coaches.
Right on. No, I mean that's solid, man. Because I mean you're only as good as you can prepare for, right? So definitely not a bad thing to learn. So one of my favorite questions that I like to ask, because I think a little bit of humility goes a long way, right? Give us a bonehead moment, right? A time where you did something that was obviously, a bad idea, but in the moment maybe made sense, but that you can look at now and kind of laugh about. What would one of those be for you?
Yeah, it's just as a receiver, there's a lot of things that you can mess up wrong. You can block the wrong guy, you can run the wrong route. So I'd say my freshman year, um, I was debating um, what I should do, but my teammate had told me that I was lining up wrong. So I listened to him, and I ended up going to the wrong formation, and my coach ended up screaming at me from the sideline. So it was kind of a hectic play, but all worked out. We did end up getting a touchdown on the play. So everything did work out in the end, but it was just kind of a moment of like craziness and being hectic, like um lining up the right way, being told you were wrong, so it makes like you kind of second guess yourself, and then you go line up the wrong way instead. So it was just kind of like a crazy moment, but it all worked out in the end. So it was it was fun. It was a fun moment. It was a fun game. I remember that game. Um,
So I think the
believe it
biggest
was against
question is,
Morgan.
oh, against Morgan. I think the biggest question is, did you do it again after that?
Nope, never again.
Well, then
Never
there you
again.
go.
I trust my coaches and what they say. So
There you go, man. There you go. Now, I think this is just my personal opinion, but I feel that every team has a player that contributes something to the team that's irreplaceable, right? And you know those things they don't always show up on stat lines and things like that. Who, in your opinion, is a player that provides something like that for your team, and why do you believe it's as valuable as it is?
um yeah, his name's came up a couple times before. But Brighton Reitzel. Um he has exceptional leadership skills, like, and exceptional leadership characteristics. During practice, he will push you. He'll make sure. He'll give you advice. Um, he'll talk to you, like talk you through the play if need be. He's just off. He's like amazing. He's smart. So I'll defend that man with my life, and he brings insane leadership to the team, always pushing each other, keeping energy levels high. So um, it's just extremely valuable because some teams don't have that cornerstone and they don't have that player that drives them to be better. Brighton never takes a play half off, and when you see someone like that, it only makes you want to follow. So
Sure. Yeah. No.
he's a
Effort
great
is
leader.
contagious. Effort is contagious. I believe that with everything that I am.
Absolutely.
So what's the dream then, young man? Where does football take you when you dream big?
When I dream big, it takes me to the NFL. I've wanted to play in the NFL since I was 7 years old. Um, and I've been holding football since I was in diapers. So I've always been around the sport. I've always loved it. Um, and I want to make it big.
So this is a big moment for you, young man. Um, if you had your choice, which team you going to?
In the NFL
Yeah,
or college?
we'll get to
Okay.
that in a second. But let's start.
Um,
You already brought up NFL, so let's talk about NFL. Big moment.
um, I've been a Eagles fan since I was little. So
Oh
yeah,
no! Dang it!
it's okay. I'm not like the other fans from there, but
No,
I've
they
always
got a
loved the
good team,
Eagles since
man.
I was younger. So
They got a good team right now. I can't knock that. How long you been a fan?
since I was born.
That's impossible. How long have you
Nope,
been an
I came
actual
out.
fan?
I came out and I was watching them since I was
Oh
born.
man, oh man. Well, that's all right. That's all right. I have a love hate relationship with the Eagles. I definitely respect them. They've had some really good players over the years. I definitely respect them, but I just naturally have to dislike them because I'm a Cowboys fan. So, but I'm on the fence with my Cowboys right now. I'm not gonna lie. So there's a lot of things I don't like, but all right, I'll give you a pass on that one. But yeah,
Alrighty.
I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna be able to you know, look you in the eyes, and I don't know. We'll see. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, man, that rivalry gets crazy every year.
So okay, so what about college? You know, if you had a dream choice of where you could go to college, where are you trying to go?
Honestly, for college, um, I just love to go anywhere. I want to play football. So
Sure.
um, I don't really have that. Just keep options open and just go wherever my life takes me, really. So
And that's not terrible. So I mean, obviously, like that's a hard. The NFL is a hard feat to get to, right? Especially when you start talking about the amount of people that play versus the amount of people that actually make it, right? In terms of like what you might do for your future, um, besides football, what are your aspirations? What are your interests? What are you looking to do?
I'm big into health science and like sports medication, sports psychology. Um, so I just kind of want to be involved in like the health world. I'm not dead set on where I want to go, like, because there's so many options with that route. So I know I want to be a little bit involved with sports, like a strength and conditioning coach, like an athletic trainer, maybe. But just kind of be involved with sports. I've loved sports since I was little, obviously. Um,
Since you came out the
so,
womb, apparently.
oh yeah, oh yeah, you
No,
know it.
that's right on, man. I mean, that's definitely something that can keep you in the world for sure. But definitely keep your eye on the prize, dude. I mean, you never know what might happen in life, and I'm sure you know that. You've gone through quite a few things as a young man. So, keep your eye on the prize. Just keep grinding, dude, and you might surprise even yourself a little bit.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So, if you could give advice to younger players, what would that advice be?
Advice to younger players would be just start putting in that work early. Not many kids your age will um, have that discipline and really take it upon themselves to get better and be active. Um, Learning that early and learning that discipline will help you throughout life, help you through football, help you through whatever sport you're playing. Um, to just get after it, chase that dream, dream big. No one can ever really tell you what you can do. And that's why you hear about the underdog stories. So just keep on grinding. Everything will work out and don't make it big. Go dream.
Absolutely, absolutely. Dream big, because real world life sucks, man. Like jobs, they suck. They suck. Chase your dreams. Go chase your dreams. If there's one thing I can preach to you guys is go chase these dreams, man. Obviously you got to make money. Obviously you got to be smart a little bit, right? But go chase those dreams. Seriously, don't give up on them. Nobody wants to go work at a warehouse. It sucks. So, is there anything that you would like to add? Maybe something we missed or something that you feel is important.
um, I think something that's important is acknowledging your parents. Um, that's kind of like back to the thing of like the mentality wise. Um, my parents supported me through everything, and it's a big shout out to my mom and dad for all that they've done for me, all the money they've spent on me because I'm a little spoiled. But I'm grateful for all that they do for me, and shout out to you, mom and dad. I appreciate all you do, and that's it.
Okay. Well, I got one more question. It comes from our chat here. Um, the tattoo. What's the story behind that? Was it part of your adversity story, or was it just something you just got?
Um, I'd say I found it when I was going through my stomach issues, and it means continuous improvement in English. So I live by that, just improving 1% each day, or even 0.5% each day. I don't even know if the math like adds up with that, but who cares? You guys get what I'm saying.
Nobody cares
Um,
about math.
just take it one step at a time, and get work done that you can.
Right on, man. Right on. Well, listen, young man, I greatly appreciate you joining me here. I know you've had a long day and you got a busy day tomorrow, so I don't want to keep you much longer. But thank you for taking the time out of your evening to speak with us, give us your story, be vulnerable a little bit, and, and and share all those things with us. I do greatly appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you too. The opportunity was amazing. Loved every second of it. So thank you as well.
All right, man. Well, we wish you nothing but the best. Um, hopefully we get to see you out there some more. I think I'm gonna try to be at your guys' next JV game that's local. So hopefully I get to see a little bit of what you can do out there. But obviously we hope to see you at the varsity level as well, man. And we wish you nothing but the best. We wish your team nothing but the best. Again, Stansbury will be on the road tomorrow, taking on Mountain Crest. Stansbury is 4-1. Mountain Crest is 3-2, and that game will be tomorrow at 7 p.m. So safe travels, obviously, to the team and fans and spectators and everybody who's heading out there for that one. And go kick some butt.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, man. Well, you're welcome to listen, obviously, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut the phone call off here in just a second, so we can get on with the rest of the game day. But again, seriously, big shout out to you, man. Thank you for joining us. It's been really great getting to chat with you and get to kind of know you a little bit. You seem like a very exceptional young man, and I'm sure you're gonna go plenty of good places in life. So keep it up, dude. We're rooting for you, and stay in touch. Let us know how you're doing, okay?
I will. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, man. Well, you have a good night. Rest up, and we'll see what you guys do tomorrow.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right. We'll talk to you later.